Rome, a city of power, grandeur, and bloody conspiracies. At its heart, there was a man who changed the course of history, a man who rose from the middle class to become the most powerful figure in the empire. He was Julius Caesar, the leader who defied traditions and ruled with an iron fist. But in the end, he fell victim to one of the greatest betrayals in history. Gaius Julius Caesar was born in 100 BC into a noble Roman family, though it was not part of the ruling elite. From a young age, he was ambitious, intelligent, and believed he was destined for greatness beyond anyone else in Rome. During his time, the Roman Republic was plagued by corruption and political conflicts. Caesar saw the old system as weak and believed that Rome needed a strong leader, not just a senate filled with rivaling politicians. From his youth, Caesar excelled as a military commander. His campaigns in Gaul, modern-day France, were his greatest military achievements, where he led his army against barbarian tribes and defeated them with brutal efficiency. He proudly declared, "I came, I saw, I conquered." However, his successes made him an enemy of Rome's powerful politicians, and conspiracies began to form around him. At that time, the Roman Senate was worried about Caesar's growing power. They ordered him to disband his army and return to Rome as an ordinary citizen. But he knew this was a trap to get rid of him. Instead, he made an irreversible decision. In 49 BC, he crossed the Rubicon River, the boundary between his military province and Roman territory. This was effectively a declaration of war against the Republic, and he uttered his famous words, "The die is cast." A civil war erupted between him and his political rival, Pompey the Great. But Caesar was no ordinary commander. He crushed Pompey's forces and forced him to flee to Egypt, where he was assassinated on the orders of King Ptolemy XIII. After his victory, Caesar returned to Rome as an absolute ruler and declared himself dictator for life. And at that moment, his enemies began plotting in the shadows. As soon as he became the sole ruler, Caesar began implementing extensive reforms. He distributed land to the poor. He expanded citizenship rights. He limited the power of the Senate. However, the senior senators saw this as the end of the Roman Republic. Caesar was not just a dictator, he was a king without a crown, and they feared that he would soon declare himself an official king. Thus, the most famous conspiracy in history began. On March 15, 44 BC, a day known as the Ides of March, Caesar was on his way to the theater of Pompey to attend a Senate meeting. The streets were filled with rumors, and some of his friends had warned him not to go. Even a soothsayer had told him, "Beware the Ides of March, Caesar." But he ignored the warnings. He feared nothing. As he entered the hall, all the senators stood to greet him, among them his closest friends. Suddenly, the conspirators stepped forward, surrounded him, and stabbed him one blow after another. 23 stab wounds rained down upon him from all sides. Caesar was in shock, but he did not scream or resist. Yet among the assassins, he saw a familiar face, Marcus Brutus, his dearest friend, whom he had considered like a son. He looked at Brutus, his eyes filled with betrayal, and uttered his final words, "Et tu, Brute!" Then he collapsed to the ground, dead in a pool of blood. The assassins thought they had freed Rome from a tyrant, but they were mistaken. Caesar's death did not restore the Republic. Instead, it led to a bloody civil war between his supporters and his enemies. In the end, his adopted heir, Augustus Octavian, emerged victorious and became Rome's first official emperor, bringing the Republic to an end forever. Thus, the conspiracy to assassinate Caesar was merely the spark that led to the downfall of what the assassins had sought to protect. The moral of the story: why was Julius Caesar killed? The assassination of Julius Caesar was one of the most impactful moments of betrayal and drama in history. It is still remembered today as a warning to those who place too much trust in their friends in politics and power. Caesar was an uncrowned king, but his death made him immortal in the memory of the world forever. Absolute power creates enemies. Even the strongest men cannot survive if they stand alone against everyone. Betrayal can come from those closest to you. Brutus was not just an assassin, he became a symbol of ultimate betrayal. Politics knows no loyalty. Caesar won every battle he fought, except the battle against conspiracies. And so, the life of the man who shaped modern Rome came to an end. Yet his death did not weaken Rome. Instead, it made it stronger, transforming it from a republic into an empire that ruled the world for centuries.